Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for inviting me to this session. I'll try to share with you some of my journey here. I started on 1st July 1997. I was supposed to report for duty 2 weeks earlier, middle of June. But then because I think I need to settle some of the my works and my previous employment, which is in Universiti Pertanian Malaysia. At the point was Universiti Pertanian Malaysia, but now it's Universiti Universiti Putra Malaysia. But even then, actually, I did not even give enough notice for UPM. I was being a component staff of a public entity. I was supposed to give a 3-month notice in lieu of 1 month salary. But then thinking about I will not be able to concentrate on my job for 3 months. So I decided to just take a leave, pay my notice, just proceed and start working in UTP. When I was interviewed, I was asked, at the point in time was interviewed by the then registrar, Syed Tuan Haji Muhammad Jurumi, and also Tuan Haji Azminuddin. It was at the point the head of student affairs. Azminuddin was the head of student affairs. So this something lah. Kalau nak kata risky, it's risky because when I did not perform well in the interview, obviously, because when they asked me what is your main motivation to come to not UTP at that point in time, it was Institute of Technology Petronas. My answer is I just need to be here to take care of my parents, that's it. Which will not really give a good point kan. Tapi then itulah cerita, ini rezeki And I was not even in the first list pun sebenarnya. I was in the reserve list. To be honest, was in the reserve list pun. So itu cerita rezeki juga. So when the first day in UTP, to be honest, I was quite shocked lah. I know it is new, but then I was quite shocked because I came from a very established university. When I came here on the first day the office was just a single story brick block building. It was not even plastered. The block was just painted over, and there was another 2-story block similar for the I think at the point was the hall, not hall, a conference room, and also the office or the office or the workstation for the lecturers. And our office is very small. I was appointed as the senior executive for for student affairs. And I came together at a point in time with my executive, Saudara Noor Idham or Abel Edhel. So he was my first executive. Talk about the office then. It was quite a small office. There is one room for the CEO, Dr. Rusti at the point in time, and the registrar and director of management, Cik Muhammad. All the finance, the ECP, the HR is in that building. Can you imagine macam mana? So if you talk about the size, it is maybe the size of this room, the whole block. I'm telling you, the size of this VIP suite ni, this part only, not that part. This part, itu dah termasuk toilet dengan pantry lah kalau pasal sana tu, sikit. So macam mana boleh draw semua orang macam itulah kurang. Very small. So that's why when I came here the first day, I was thinking, wow, rasa macam nak balik But tak boleh lah kan, malu lah, takkan nak balik-balik, nak call balik, tarik notis buat malu lah. That's my first experience here lah. But then when I first came here, what is important for me is that I had made that decision to come back to masa itu Institute of Technology Petronas. The reason why, because I know that it is going to become a university. So there is room. So for me, it's more of I can see that this is the place where I can contribute more. Because when I was in UPM, most of the things are established. And if you look at my being a assistant registrar at the point time, I have 48 seniors before me. So can you imagine? So the procedure of me becoming a registrar is nearly impossible lah. Not to say that my motivation to come to UTP ni nak jadi registrar tak lah. Because as I mentioned, when I was interviewed, it was just tak ada orang nak jaga orang tua. That's it. And Alhamdulillah, I was blessed that I was able to take care of my arwah ibu dan ayah, especially my father, because my mother passed away earlier. So I sempat jaga dia selama 10 tahun. And even dia last breath tu with me di telinga dia lah. Bukan macam itulah. So for me, sometimes what's more important for us is niat kita lah nak buat apa-apa tu. So nothing to do with coming here sebab of course memang kita, if you go somewhere, kalau kita macam Rasulullah sendiri kan, bila dia pergi berhijrah kan, for something better lah. So bila kita keluar pun we expect kita nak dapat benda yang lebih baik lah. Baik tu tak mesti nak pangkat ke? Tu selalu orang silap ni. Kau ingat baik tu mesti gaji, pangkat besar, gaji besar, ya tak? When I first came here, memang I feel that I can contribute more compared to kalau dekat di PDA. Because that is very difficult, bukan sebab saya junior tak. Because you know, in the government dia very slow, punya bureau prosesnya lambat. And as you know, dia punya mentality of the staff tu tak sama. So macam saya always mention in my speeches lah, I am really saya bersyukur, I'm really blessed dekat UTP ni. I'm able to do so many things because staff kat sini kau cakap apa pun dia akan buat lah. Yang dia tak buat tu mungkin bukan sebab dia tak nak buat, just because dia tak mampu ke, dia tak ada skill ke, itu saya nampak lah. Tapi in the government is different, totally different. So kalau kita tengok kenapa kita boleh achieve so much more dekat UTP ni, is because the staff punya komitmen tinggi. Most lah, saya kata, of course lah, jangan kata semua lah, of course lah, mana-mana. Tapi at least I can say that in UTP ni, most kebanyakannya nak bekerja. Kalau kita gaduh pun, kalau kita tengok mostly sebab kerja kita gaduh kan. So back to my earlier tadi, when satu lagi, you need to be able to be to have this balance between work and life ni, work life and your family life ni. So when I first started, I told my wife, I have resigned my position, a very good position. Government back tu pencen berpenuh, pencen penuh dan sebagainya. So now, since I've taken this ni, I have to establish myself. So I think within 3 or 4 days, I was sent back to UPM early. You know why? Because itu Azmiuddin, the head of student affairs, dia banyak benda tak tahu kan. Zero, there's no system. Tak ada, don't talk about system talk about process. So early years is more about processes, putting in the process. Tak tahu macam mana buat ICP ni kan. So tak apalah, because saya pun masa dekat UPM tu, I was not a student affairs officer tau. I was bagian pejawasan industrial relation. I'm not from ni. Not my background, it's not high level, but the fact is that my CV tu banyak lah on student affairs, because I was a fellow there, I was a former student sana, aktif dan sebagainya, and banyak buat program modul untuk student. That's why they appoint me as a student pegawai Halal Pelajar. I was sent back to UPM. So I went and meet my friend lah, cakap okay. And kalau talk about our work rate masa itu, all the pioneers masa itu, I was looking after HCP tu as a senior executive for 1 month I think. But later, ini risky for some reason. You remember Puan Khalidah? Dr. Khalidah lah, our lecturer. He was at that time sebenarnya, masa sebelum saya masuk tu, she was the HR manager tu. But when I came when I started work tu, dia tak ada dah, dia resign. So masa itu I think Azmiuddin kena acting. But later I think after 1 month dia tengok for some reason I think Azmiuddin take up terus HR, and I was appointed the acting head of student affairs within 1 month. So being a student affairs officer pada masa itu dia akan jaga ini ya, student affairs ya. Admission pun under student affairs officer, if you remember lah. So semualah masa itu hostel pun kena tengok mana ada pengurus hostel mau situ. Sekarang senang lah, ada pengurus lah, ada apa Kartini lah kan. Before that tak ada Saya ingat siapa warden ni, ada 2 orang warden tu. Ya, saya tak ingat nama dah, lama sangat dah. Ada 2 warden, so I have to take care of the hostel juga and also admission. At that point of time kita only have about 300 student. The student budak apa is join training program. Sorry, the first 3 batches are training program ITP, Institute of Technology Petronas Sdn Bhd, ITPSB dengan 3 overseas university, 1 Calgary, Canada, 2 Heriot Ward, 3 Surrey. 3 batches. The first batch tu I think if I'm not mistaken about 60. Second batch tu 109 and the third batch tu 132. And they are all supposed to go sebenarnya overseas. But then later the Petronas decide that since kita pun dah nak set up our university ni in 97 kan dah nama dah SUT, so only the first batches yang lepas because kita tak ada facility at the point time. The first batch facility, yes, they went overseas lah. Tapi dia ada 2 batches the second, third batches they completed their degree here. Ya. Jadi pada mula-mula ramai juga disappointed juga tak dapat overseas kan. So my first experience handling dengan budak-budak yang tak jadi pergi overseas ni was 98 lah. And before that nak cerita sikit lah, kadang-kadang kita ni usaha banyak cari nak dapat student is not a simple thing. Pada itu nak buat marketing pun payah. Nak tahu sebab apa? Satu, nama ITP. Bila I remember when we went to do marketing dekat KL, saya pergi dengan Prof. the current Prof. lah, Prof. Muhammad Ibrahim. Di marketing ni conducted among school counselors in wilayah. So we went there. Kat mana? I don't remember tempat kat mana. Sampai dah tak ingat nama dah. I dengan Prof. Arvin. Tapi susah tu situ tau. Not only people don't know yang ada situ bagi presenter ya UM lah, PTA orang tahu kan. Kali not even university kita ITP je kan. Nak explain satu ITP ni apa kan. You have to explain that. ITP, apa program buat. Itu soalan lah mak kata. Ini kat mana? Kat Trolak ke? Dia tengah orang Tronoh tak tahu kat mana. Aisyah kata susah. Can you imagine? Kalau compare dengan sekarang lah. You talk about UGP orang tahu kan. Dulu orang tak tahu pun macam mana ni. And then we don't even have this marketing brochure. So tak ada orang pun kita charge of marketing situ. So yang jaga HCP ni dia jadi marketing juga lah. Dan dia pun kena buat brochure. So the first prospectus I remember I kena buat lah. Duduk dengan terus letih buat cari sama. Gambar pun tak ada pun gambar cantik lah tu. And talk about activity memang at the point of time memang tak ada lah. We don't have, as I mentioned lah, the first maybe the first 1 month, 2 month or 3 months, even the first 6 months saya dekat UTP ni, I think I have to write berapa MC paper, banyak betul. Just paper ni lah untuk ni proses even nak buka polisi untuk student aktiviti pelajar, penubuhan kelab, even yuran. I have all this later lah, kalau perlu nanti I can share lah. Banyak paper saya kita buat. Masa itu sometimes kadang MC meetingnya esok, saya dengan masa itu dengan Idham lah, itulah sebenarnya burka kan Idham kan. Buat kerja tengah buat sama kopak ni, ingat nak balik lah. Kali lalu Cik Mat luar dulu, Cik kena buat paper lah dia kata, mak kata dah pukul 5 dah bos buat nak buat paper ni. Pukul 6 esok lah tu meeting, untung buat kan 2 paper lah terus tu, 2 paper terus. Jadi saya pun bagi storyline ni 1, 2 yang ni dah ni kau buat, dah ada framework dah, kamu cari all this maklumat, ini aku buat, itu saya kumpul dah. present paper. Terus present, saya prepare dengan saya kena present esok that type environment. Kadang pukul 3-4 pagi jawabnya. Itu biasa. Masa itu saya duduk kat Bota. Kalau Bota tu, kalau zaman itulah, mana ada Taman Maju tak ada Taman Maju ada, yes, I think, tapi Bandar U tak ada. So kalau if you go from the UST ke arah Bota tu, nampak kalau pukul 3-4 pagi tu memang gelap, Taman Maju pun gelap. Dan you see RTM nya, saya sikit RTM. You know RTM? Dululah ada RTM, sekarang tak ada kot. So that was the really the first 6 month tu, 97 tu mostly setting up of the student fest, coming up the processes, student affairs, activity, clubs, even sampai the MPP itself, penubuhan MPP. Banyaklah benda macam tu But then come back tadilah, talking about we only have 300 student. So how to get the number of student tu? Itu yang saya kata tadi. Yes, kita macam-macam, kita buat promosi, buat advertisement dan sebagainya, marketing dan sebagainya. But at the end of the day, itu kadang-kadang it's kita doa lah penting. God's will. Tiba-tiba in 98 the government decide masa tu, the economic slowdown 97, the government decide not to send the student overseas in 98. Masa itu saya ingat lagi, Dr. Rusti ask me to attend meeting besar ni, meeting dekat MARA headquarters, chaired by chairman of MARA. Yang attend tu tahu siapa? All the IPTA tu ada, yang VC pun ada. Even kalau tak VC pun dia punya divisi, macam UM tu divisi dia datang, UKM semua. I think for TNB, dia punya then director dia was sitting beside me. Director datang ni, saya senior executive je. Tapi saya remember sebab apa, terus senang dia cakap saya, make sure we get the student, dia kata. Dr. Rusti dia bagi saya power tu. Ini kata, kalau you need to be able to bagi empowerment to the people tapi to the right people juga. Kalau orang tu kita bagi empowerment pun, kalau dia tak berani ke kan. Make sure you get there ni. So bila sampai sana, ada beritahu lah, these are number of student yang ada, yang tak boleh pergi OSMED lah, tak boleh UK lah, tak boleh pergi itulah. So siapa yang boleh ambil ni, siapa yang boleh ambil ni kan. Saya walaupun senior ini, I can answer whether or not kita boleh ambil, tak boleh ambil. Ada orang from a public university, I'm not going to say who, a divisi, jawapan dia, saya tidak diberi mandat untuk membuat keputusan, tapi come to that meeting. Can you imagine? A divisi level. Saya punya jawapan, yes, Datuk, kita akan ambil gitu. And there was discussion dekat ni, masa itu we still have Dr. Rusti, bukan masa itu tak pindah ke KLCC lagi. Dia masih duduk dekat Daya Bumi. Dia ada dua office Daya Bumi. So we had a meeting dekat Daya Bumi pasal benda isu ni lah, dengan Dr. Rusti and one more, I think masa itu Cik Zazali Salim because he was one of the UTP project team. Ada masa itu kan project team panggil nak buat UTP tu. So masa itu Cik Zazali kata, tak apalah, saya work kat luar dan sebagainya kan. So masa itu saya fikir, satu leceh lagi, satu saya fikir, so, budak dulu kat luar ni payah ni. So saya told Dr. Rusti, sinilah Dr. Rusti, bukan apa, mungkin boleh cari kat luar, tapi for me susah kalau budak dulu keluar tengok macam UiTM tu banyak masalah. Saya kata okey lah. So they go back to Petronas and they managed to get that I think berapa juta tu, masih tu murah ya, 10 million dia dapat new block on the day itself. In 99 tu, yang 98 kan, 98 tu yang penting kan apa tu, masa intake tu lah kebetulan ada anak VIP. My mistake juga, ada one block tu besar, dia macam U shape tu, big one satu, and then ada dua block lagi panjang flat, the normal block type. But I made the mistake of assuming that the third block tu, dia punya size tu sama dengan second block. Rupanya dia kecil sikit, dia punya number. So isunya macam ni, sebab kita dah susun the block ni according to the gender tu, male, female sebagainya. Jadi bila asyik tak betul, susunan dah tak betul lah. So kita orang kena reconfigure the 3 block lah. That's why block A tu terpaksa partition tengah-tengah. Dia jadi male and female. So the student tu, I terpaksa ask the coordinator pada malam tu to put a barricade tau, block tu H. So tengah-tengah tu letak barricade itu ya barricade dah pada blok tu, supaya lelaki dengan perempuan tak ada campur lah. Tapi dia punya tempat sidai baju sama lah tengah-tengah. Itu satu isu which I have to resolve malam itu juga, because I only know that by our the student leaders. Dia betul Cik betul blok ni tak sama size kata. I see you ke. Maksud our alumni. And secondly is that the perabot sampai. Apa nak buat ni? 22 tak dapat sampai lagi. Last time yelah, tak payah tunggu perabotnya. We make that decision gini lah. Apalah cakap, masa 2 hari ni kita sumbat je lah dekat ni blok apa ni, blok seniors kan. Padahal memang seniors tak tinggalkan barang, tak kosong barang memang ada, tapi buat dulu, masukkan dulu blok seniors. Esok kata bapak dia dah balik, esok kita pindahkan dia orang balik, kata begitulah. Because 3 months that block, within 3 months kena siap sampailah ni. That is supposed to be a temporary block tu, 10 years tapi nampak gaya from dah berapa tahun lah, 98 sampai now ni 20 years still there, masih teguh berdiri lah that block. So that is the first lah my experience masa awal-awal tu. So mostly I think the lesson there is that kita, yes, we try to plan as much as possible, tapi when something happen tu kita kena cepat lah make decision. We have to kena make good of that decision. Itu je lah, tak boleh nak panik lah. So masa the student datang pula tadi, yang 1,000 tu, 700 tu, yes, they came first day. Masa itu sistem tak ada lagi. Masa student masuk tu, when we first started, we use ini je tau, borang je, print borang. Pakai borang, mana ada online ni, print borang, brochure, print sendiri. I remember dengan Dr. Rusti Aisyah mention, very detail tau. PR ni dia very particular. Dia tengok sekuen borang, dah print lah, cantik lah, macam tak kena pada dia. So ini dia kata menyenangkan kamu Din, dia kata, tapi membuatkan your customer susah, dia kata. Apa cara nak jawab bijak ni kan. So apa dia buat? Dia ambil ruler besi. Masa itu dia pakai, kita dapat bila beli dapat ruler besi, bukan ruler plastik sekarang. Yang standard stationery is ruler besi kan. Ruler besi kan, shit dia tu koyak yang booklet tu. Aku masa tu ngilu. Kau tu bunyi pisau. Kata friend, mau pedihnya sebab kita dapat cantik benda tu. Lagi seminggu nak raya tu lah. Shit dia buatnya. Okay, itu dia susahnya balik. Mana dia expect benda tu nanti borang tu bila hantar macam tu, dalam sequence yang dibuat tu. So apa kita buat dalam masa 2-3 hari je tu, we have to macam buat macam check potong balik, susun balik. Macam tu saya ingat lagi. Jadi gurka-gurka aku tu lah, siapa Salihan semua tu lah, si Hanuza, si Izalman, semua kena buat macam tu. Yang tak boleh balik raya, tak boleh bayar. Saya memang tak boleh balik raya, saya orang motor. Apalah, dia orang balik lah, Cik Mas balik lah, Dr. Rusti balik lah raya. Apa raya aku, buat itulah, betulkan orang tu. That's how very particular. That's why the lesson I learned from that, something you cannot compromise. Ana customer tu is first tu dulu saya lecture tu. Lepas tu serik lah, kau jangan buat kerja macam tu. Tengok, dia paksa kau buat. I don't care, dia tak ada kata kau nak raya ke tak ada. Kau buat. Dia tak cakap pun, you know, you have to do it. Buat. Betulkan balik orang tu. Orang tahu. No such thing. So itu lesson lah, pong dia. First time right tu lah. Kalau tak first time right, jadi begitulah. Tu Dr. Rusti lah. Dia very particular about the PR lah. Even saya remember, later I was moved to academic services after 3 years dekat HEP. Masa itu, okay, sistem, yes, masa dekat HEP dah ada sikit sistem. As I mentioned tadi, masa the first intake yang 98 tu, kita dapat sistem from Petronas lah, which is using their HR system modified. So adalah sistem, dah ada sistem lah, ya. Tapi saya ingat lagi, sebab first time tu it is slow kan, bukan online sistem. And then masa itu kita insist lah, okay, budak datang kena register. Pasang PC banyak-banyak kan, register. Tapi slow juga, dah 700 orang. As I mentioned, I was transferred bukan transfer lah, transfer dekat South-nya, mobilize to academic services. So I suspect mungkin something to do dengan sistem juga kot, because academic services itu tak ada sistem sebenarnya. Yeah, it is done using third party software gitu, beli package. Can you imagine your result in just a package on a PC, all the result. So when I first came, itulah kerja dia, because I remember the confidence level of the student on the result quite low though. Dia every time dah apa lah, I notice my first week dekat academic central services tu, tengok kat depan kaunter, kenapa budak datang ramai, rupanya nak check, dia tak percaya result dia. So what we did temporarily is that kita kata begini lah, okay, kalau dalam begitu, for start, just put the book there, suruh dia orang tulis je, then kita akan check. For me, we will check the background, siapa yang tak confident tu, then we check, then you put a note there, yes, betul. Itu je kerja dia. So kurang orang ini, jadi dia orang dah tulis belah, tidak ditunggu ramai-ramai. Dia kata buat apa ni beratur panjang ni. And masa itu baru kita develop that system lah, dengan that sistem maklumat pelajar tu. I think benda tu berlaku for 1 or 2 semesters tu, baru student confident dengan result yang kita keluarkan. Kalau tidak, itulah rupanya after result keluar je penuh lah dekat depan tu. Dan kita terpaksa jawab je. After some time when they saw that every time kita bagi tu that's confirm betul kan, then after 2 semester dia dah. Kerana itulah yang inilah challenge at that point time is having that system, plus juga having a good timetable je system lah. So saya ingat pada situ we take on board that syllabus plus. Itu masa itu kita letak dah 99. Now we still using that. Tapi satulah, if you talk about the culture at the point time is that because we are close knit, very small. Mungkin because of that lah, close knit, very small, number you pun not many. I think masa saya masuk tu maximum of maybe 30 or 40 people. Bagusnya kan apalah, maknanya in term of kerja tak kira, because satu, it is not structured sangat. Jadi orang akan buat multitasking, banyak benda dia kena buat. Dia tak boleh cerita macam kamu ni specialize in one area and you do just one thing, tak boleh, because we don't have enough. Macam kata, for example, when we do macam admission kan, as I mention lah, my office tadi, HCP tu semua sekali lah, admissionnya, yang jaga the student activity punya, ada maybe one or two executive, then admission under one or two. We don't have enough staff. So what we did is that, macam masa admission process, when our prospect kan, when they call kan, we ask, we have a schedule where we put macam a specific area whereby 3 or 4 staff will put on duty just to answer call. Ini termasuk lecturer sekali pada masa itu, even lecturer, and we give a script, ini jawapan dia. So memang that's how we do it. Tapi everybody was involved lah. Maknanya kalau you talk about admission, mesti semua orang macam kenduri lah. Orang finance pun kena tolong, orang HR kena tolong, dia kena tolong, tak ada orang. And the challenge masa itu, another thing, the challenge in the early years is that we are sharing that campus. Itu I did not mention just now. We are sharing the campus with with USM at that point time, something until they left in 2000 rasanya, lebih kurang lah. Tapi for 2 years at least we share the campus with them. And sharing the campus meaning to say that beside the hostel and our office, so the rest are shared. Dia punya sport facility kita share, classroom kita share. So most of the time our lecturer will be teaching after office hours. So kalau you look at the current situation ni, now everything is already in place, being established now. So semua benda pun nampak gaya dah ada unit even small matter macam saya kata lah, kalau dulu HCP tu semua lah, tapi now HCP is only looking at student development kan. Admission different, admission pun dah pecah juga, admission pun ada marketing lagi. So in a way, satu just look macam dia more organised lah, but then I feel that mungkin ada some on the human aspect tu, we do something lah. that camaraderie tu kurang sikit lah, cakap macam mana pun, which is I think which is natural or common lah kot. What do you expect kan, universiti takkan nak kecil kan. So tapi then the challenge is how do we still maintain that camaraderie despite the fact that kita dah ramai ni. How do you maintain that? Because I remember masa kita awal-awal seronok kerja tu, walaupun penat. That's why I said kerja sampai 3-4 pagi pun tak rasa penat, because kau tahu semua orang kerja kan. Apa nak rasa penat je, semua orang sama. So now you don't even recognize people. Even myself, I'm sorry to say lah, malu juga kan. I have got my latest position as the chief support officer tu, more than nearly 200 tak. Mana aku ingat semua. Betul. And I'm going to touch about that, macam kata macam our transformation, kenapa dia berjaya. One of the things that is because we have gone through a series of workshop though, and all the stakeholder is involved. Walaupun sikit pun dia ada involved, walaupun kalau tak for the whole journey, but at least certain part of the journey they will be there. Dekat awal ke, dekat tengah ke, or at least at the very end pun kita akan engage them kan. So this create that sense of belonging sikit lah pada sesuatu benda. So walaupun kita dah besar sekarang, I think there are ways untuk kita teruskan lagi lah that spirit tu, through having this type of engagement. Kena banyak lah. But UT ni memang orang kata is a, mana-mana pun is a collegialnya sistem tu. Collegial tu maksudnya kan, walaupun top down banyak certain decision are top down, tapi still in order for us to go forward ni, you still need that ini tu, orang kata buy in from semua orang, tidak jalan. As I mentioned, saya selalu sebut gini kan, whatever decision made ni tak penting sangat tu. It is how kamu execute the decision lebih penting. Kita boleh telagah daripada awal, tapi kalau masa nak implement certain thing tu, kita fokus, kita committed, kita sama-sama bulat lah, insya-Allah. Itu je. And don't worry sangat pasal konflik ke pergerakan, itu biasalah. Kita ni orang otak lain-lain, tak sama kan, takkan expect semua sama. So the thing is that you should be able to, orang kata, bersatu bila nak implement, tu je. That's what we did lah. So I think in term of that, I think that element tu masih ada lagi. Hopefully dia akan diteruskan lagi lah. Walaupun kita dah beramai dan sebagainya, platform di mana ramai orang boleh interact. Itu je. That's why masa itu ada sport, benda-benda macam family day ni should be, patut diteruskan. I think some of you remember apa saya kata kan, don't be just because 50,000. No, it's not about 50,000 ke apa. It is about having that camaraderie. Tidak masa bila lagi kan, masa kerja tu kita dah berpisah jauh. So dekat mana tu platform untuk orang yang interact tu. So have that, maintain, kena teruskan. Right.